go. Here we go. Yippee-ki-yay, and welcome to another episode of the Black Guy with Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
What's going on, partner?
I'm doing good over here.
All right. Enough of this chit-chat. People don't want to hear what we have to say. They're here for their own what they got to say because they wrote feedback.
They hear their own voices.
Yeah, they want to hear my voice reading their voices. Feedback show. We do it once a week on Saturdays. Today's Saturday morning. And you can write in, leave comments, vote in the polls, leave voicemails, leave comments on our website, comments on our YouTube. We get to all of them and we let you guys know how we feel about what you said, about how you felt about what we said. And it's a big circular, just a big circle jack of
opinions,
conversations happening. The official weapon of the show is the folding chair. And the unofficial sport is
bullet ball.
A bullet ball extreme. Of course, we have to start the way we always start on these feedback shows because we are so grateful to have y'all's money.
We thankful.
Nothing makes me happier than waking up in the morning and being like, oh God, it's still there. I had a nightmare that the business account was empty. So
you know what? You ain't the only one.
Thank you, everybody. And we want to
thank you.
We want like to take this time to give y'all a shout out to the people that just donate money out of just the kindness of their heart.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
That's right. New cheddar, new. You better do that. Guys, I've rhymed it 900 times in a row. I'm out of rhymes. Palmetto Stone Magic. Alfonso M. YRD Design or YR Design. Jasmine J. David C. James C. Okay, I see the C's is in here. Kyle K. Bambi, Dr. Professor Bambi.
Mm-hmm.
Jason F. Kimberly, the Falcons Diva. We got a one-time donation from John A. Thank you very much, John. Go sit with the new with the visitors. Ken M. We got Derek L.W., cousin of 3LW. You ain't remember them from back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Back when R&B people could be regular people. Zach from Living Corporate Podcast. Lawrence C. Christoph R. Matthew W. Preston from the Slang of Ages Podcast. Mariano. The wrong folder. Let me just move this to the right place. Folder. Adam S. Tyrone M. Cole.
Yes.
Jason F. Dorothea S. You know we're big in the Dorothea thing.
Mm-hmm.
Joe H. Shout out to Joe. I think she just got back from vacation a couple weeks ago. Waist Bees by Sura. Michael Irvin, the Playmaker. Mm-hmm. Michael F. Another Michael. Deborah O. Allison H. Stefan H. And lastly, Mary H. That's right. The H's brought up the rear. They always here.
They represent it.
Okay, they're not gonna let y'all ever outdo them. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They was like H's in the house.
The H family. Boom, 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 boom. All right. We got one new review over the last 2 weeks. And I'm not gonna fuss at y'all because honestly, one is all it takes to keep me off y'all ass. Okay?
Yeah, all I need is one.
Okay.
All I need is one review.
It was from 1 day ago, so y'all barely made it. Y'all was about to get 37 commercials in a row. Because the last time before that was June 28th. And I'm pretty sure we did a show since June 28th. I'm like, okay, so maybe these people want some smoke. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because the last one would have been the 5th, which we skipped. No, the 28th. Okay, so no, I'll take it back. We got 3 new ones.
Okay,
because a couple of y'all left them on the 28th.
Okay. So I can deal with 3.
Nah, this is great. Veggie Vixen says 5-star show for 5-star couple. 5 stars. Just a re-up of my review. This is my favorite podcast, hands down. Rod and Karen are the best at what they do. The weekly podcast is wonderful, and all the premium content is amazing. Get behind the paywall because you won't be disappointed. We really be doing fun stuff behind the paywall.
We do.
I don't know what y'all are into, but I think if you're into movies and video games and sports and food and stuff like that, and just our opinions and what we've been doing through the week that we don't talk about on the show. We talk about it with Justin for our pregame. I'm talking about lifting weights and playing basketball, and Justin's July 4th, and Lil Wayne being terrible, stuff like that. What we're listening to, podcasts, all kinds of stuff back there for the pre-games. It's like an extra episode of the show, except it always has Justin on it, which is a bonus for some of y'all and a negative for some of y'all.
Yeah, depending on who you are.
Yeah. But back to this. Karen's Not Crazy 3121 says push forward equipped. Who says 5 stars. I'm a Karen Rebel and a Nubian from the Karen Hunter Show. This is the first time I listen to you guys, and I truly enjoy it. I'm like you, Karen. I will not waste time with people that don't want to learn anything or listen. Exactly. She don't.
It's not worth it. I don't know if that's a Karen thing or what, but we are very adamant about certain things.
Lastly, time to re-up from driver Wally, who says political until we get mad, or politics till we get mad. Perhaps the greatest segment of all time. All right.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I'm not joking. Yes, thank you. Because I never look forward to doing that segment because the title is accurate. Yes. I'm not fake mad. It's not like, I'm going to spin myself into a rage.
Nope.
Sometimes I feel like I get one word into the news and I'm like, fuck it.
I'm already mad. Sometimes Roger reads the title and I'm already mad.
Yeah. You get like 2 words into the first title of the sentence, like Trump administration. Fuck. All right. Well, I'm mad.
Right.
But I did feel like it would be irresponsible of us to have done the podcast that we've done for this long and then be like, well, America fucked it up in November. I guess we're done talking politics. And then I think, honestly, this is one of the only spaces I feel comfortable discussing politics and feel that it will be heard and that I'm talking to people that are understanding and empathetic, and it's not just a debate or a game for us. We're not trying to win or make the most contrarian statement. I feel like we've been resolute, and I think honestly, man, no joke, I really feel like our voices represent a lot of people who are afraid to talk like we talk, not because they're afraid something's gonna happen to them, but because they just don't want to deal with the fallout, because what we're saying isn't necessarily the most popular thing for anybody, meaning a lot of the stuff that we're saying is we could talk differently on this show and it'd be fake, but we would get more people would share our stuff more.
Yes, they would.
But I wouldn't be being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say stuff like Kamala Harris was a great candidate and she deserved to win, and that everything else is us making an excuse. That's not that. I think a lot of people agree with me, especially black folks.
Yep.
But the black people who make a living on the internet, for the most part, will never say something like that because their bona fides come from being better than whoever.
Yeah.
From saying nothing is ever good enough and she's a cop and all this shit. And I think in addition to that being inaccurate, I think it's not helpful, and I think it's not honest, and at best is ill-informed and very convoluted in a way that white people and white supremacy would find, I think, advantageous to dim support for the progressive causes and movements and the things that get us closer to those goals, to dim the support for that and make people turn away or go whatever. I think a lot of fools have taken up that mantle and hurt us, and they'll never even admit to playing a part in it, but they have played a part in it, and and it's all about patting themselves on the back to be like, look how progressive I am. I would never. If I was the president, no, we would immediately be out of everything. And until I get that choice, I won't be voting, or I'll just be shitting on the Democrats. And I think us having this is important, no matter how unpopular that might be, or how not sexy that's not a sexy thing to say to anybody. But God damn it, I believe it, and I'm glad. So I'm glad we're still doing the segment, because I think I'll look back at this time, I hope, years later, and be like, I'm glad and proud of the stuff that we said, instead of just caving and being like, oh my God, throw the trans people in the trash, we need a third party, fucking West Jill Stein. Like, I'm not gonna panic. I'm resolute, and I feel like we were morally right and we did the right thing. And if anyone needs a talking to, it ain't us, because we did what we were supposed to do.
Agreed. And to piggyback on what you have said, when you're talking about Kamala, I know a lot of people feel like me, who feel like Joe Biden should never step down. Just keeping that real. I know a lot of people, are very mad that he was forced to step down. I know a lot of people are very upset on how the outcome of the election was, and people can feel how they want to feel, but I'm just telling you how I feel. I feel like Joe Biden would have beat him. And if he had not have beat him, I personally would have been satisfied with that result. Because the result is the same. White people wanted white supremacy, regardless if it was Joe Biden, regardless if it's Kamala Harris. The result is they wanted whatever Trump was selling, the end. It wouldn't have mattered who the candidate was, truth be told. But I have very, very, very strong feelings that I will never let go, because people told me I was crazy. People told me I was insane. Because you know what? When people go, well, why can't we be like Republicans? You know what being like Republicans is? Looking at Joe Biden on national television glitch and say, fuck it, I'm voting for him anyway. That's what they do. I'm not trying to be funny. That's what they do. We don't do that. You have to be a perfect candidate. You can't be flawed. You have to meet all these agendas. So I'm like, no, I'm doing what they do. But I was told to sit down. I was told to shut up. I was told Joe Biden was too old. I was told all these things, and people gaslighted me on the internet and made me think I was a motherfucking lunatic and a fool for being mad and being angry and being upset and being bitter when Joe Biden stepped down. And they act like, just sit down and shut up and just move on. Okay, I moved on with y'all, but then y'all results may have even been the same. So I got the right to be mad, just like y'all got the right to be mad, because that's the thing. Everybody think that they're the only ones angry, and they don't think that other people are just as angry or even angrier than they are. It's like a lot of times, a lot of these people, they just talk and they just pretend and they fake the funk, but their anger ain't real. I'm not trying to be funny. Like they're going with the flow, they're going with the trends and whatever's being said, but they're not really angry.
The thing I keep thinking about too, though, is like, we did it the way they wanted it done, right? We went along with it, right? Yes. Because it was the pressure from those folks that was like, I'm on your side, I'm on the left, Joe Biden needs to step down. Okay, he stepped down. We know the rules. No one's going to go back and talk about these rules, but we know the rules. No one could spend the treasure chest of money that had been raised except Kamala Harris. There was no time to do some sort of open committee primary where everybody hurts each other, because that's what's going to happen, is everyone's going to go through all the negatives in the primary towards each other to distance themselves, blah, blah, blah. And then out of that chaos, whoever wins, which probably still would have been Kamala Harris, by the way, whoever wins then has less than 100 days to run for president, right? My point being, even when we did what they said to do, if you listen to those people now, they take no responsibility of saying, like, you know what, this is what I wanted and the L we took is on me. Yeah. I said Joe Biden need to step down. I said we'll all rally around Kamala Harris. I was wrong. That didn't happen. People wouldn't vote for this black woman. And I think a lot of us, I'm not saying the anger would go away, but I think a lot of us would feel more relieved if people came back and said, you know what, y'all was right. Maybe he, like, I know the way we did it didn't work. And so the way y'all wanted to do it, maybe it would have worked, maybe it wouldn't have worked. But I know that us coming in and deciding that this guy was out didn't work. And it's sad because I think without that moment of resolution or whatever, I think it's going to be difficult for people to move forward. And that's why everything feels so fractured and not together. But I think that's a very real feeling.
Yes, I 100% agree because my thing is, I'm not saying Joe Biden would have won. All I'm saying is Joe Biden never got the chance, and I think that's the part that upsets me.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to know. I don't think he would have won. I mean, I just think once people felt how they felt, I'm a realist. I don't feel like I'm too positive or negative. I'm like, this is what people normally do. This is where we were headed. I'm not gonna trip. We need to move forward in a realistic direction.
Agreed.
The realistic direction to me was obviously Kamala Harris. Let's just fucking go.
Let's go.
I don't have time to argue with y'all.
Nope.
We don't need to spend a bunch of time debating it. But understand that she could lose the same way Biden would lose. And instead of saying we got to hold this L, it's somebody else's fault. So
right.
I don't think he would have won, but that's not because I think it's him, but just once people have decided I'm scared or I'm not voting for this, like it just is what it is.
I 100% agree with that, and it's one of the things where I do agree with you say if people who rode Biden's ass got him to step down, he stepped down. Okay, cool. If these people would have came back and said my bad, I think that anger wouldn't be.
I mean, they're still trying to sell books based off of it.
I think that anger in my heart wouldn't be as intense. But it's like y'all are just going to yada 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 it and blame the Democrats. And also to piggyback on what you were saying before about us having this podcast, I will never be ashamed to say I'm a Democrat. I vote Democrat. I am a Democrat. Democrat is in my goddamn blood. And there's nothing anybody can say to make me change my motherfucking mind. You will not shame me into not voting Democrat.
Well, it's forget the not voting Democrat part. I think there's just a huge denial that a lot of people have, and ultimately I just think that some of it comes down to a form of imitating whiteness in America, by which I mean white people get to be unaffected, unaffiliated individuals. And it's a privilege in many ways to people, and something that many people aspire to, whether they recognize it or they don't recognize it. But I think many people aspire to this idea of individuality. Even those who claim like it's about community, we want to be together. It's like, it's about community if I'm at the front. It's about community if I'm getting all the credit. It's about community if I'm the hero, but it's not.
I don't care.
But it's not necessarily about. It's about community and my ego at the same time, right? So I think there, on a subconscious level, there is always this struggle in America for individualism. And people on the left don't think that they're doing it, but they are doing it, in my opinion, because I think the collective identity that we would have in America is the Democrats. If you are a righteous person that claims to be who you are, the argument isn't like, am I saying they're perfect? No, the argument is everybody who I know, who's these unwilling, like, oh God, these fucking Democrats. If I start saying what do you believe in, it will all line up with Democrats or just beyond where Democrats are. Meaning, so anyway, my point being, I say I'm a Democrat. I'm registered as a Democrat. I only vote Democrat. I've never seen or met a Republican who was worth voting for, who gave a fuck about any of my issues. That's not my fault. That's the Republicans' fault. If they wanted to compete for my vote, they're welcome to do so. They just do not want to. They compete for me to not be able to vote. So they're not an option. So the reason I love what you said about about affiliating and claiming the Democratic Party is not out of like loyalty to just that donkey or that symbol. It's loyalty to myself, because what I'm really saying is, once I am part of something, I am responsible to it, and it is responsible to me.
And I hold it accountable.
Yes, and I think that's the difference, because people hear, oh, so you just gonna be with the Democrat? I'm over here because you can't be a part of something. You can't hold something accountable you're not a part of.
Right.
It's like saying you would it's like y'all on the internet that listen to our podcast. Me and Karen are married, right? Y'all can't be accountable. You can't hold me and Karen accountable to the vows of our marriage. You can't. You not part of this. Right. You don't pay half the rent. You know what I mean? Right. You're not going in on the sex. You're not cooking. You're not making
not washing clothes.
Like you can feel how you want to feel. You can have a parasocial relationship. You can be angry, but you're not part of it.
Right.
So you can't really do shit. Like the most you can do is like, I won't listen or whatever. But you can't like actually be like, Rod, I noticed lately you haven't been cleaning the house. You know what I'm saying? So like when I say I'm part of the Democratic Party, I mean it in a way of like, and it owes me.
It owes
like it's not
me.
I don't owe it owes me. That's,
right.
I feel the same way about the idea of government. People act like the government is a thing that is done to us and just comes out of nowhere, and that's whiteness talking. Because to me, what government also represents is desegregation. It represents making sure that the South can't secede from the Union.
Right.
It represents Reconstruction. It represents like, as much as it represents the negative, it also represents the positive change, the New Deal and Civil Rights Act. And I don't mean that as in like the government is always positive. No, what I mean is when it's negative, it's the people, and when it's positive, it's the people.
Agreed.
But it's always the people. It's never just a thing that is happening. It is the will of the people. And when the people give up their de facto responsibility to shape this nation, there are always other people still picking up the mantle and the torch that are still burning things down to the ground, because they don't abdicate responsibility in that way. They go, oh no, I'm gonna vote to take your rights. So anyway, that was a free politics till we get mad segment sparked by your comment, because I really didn't mean to get into all that, and I kind of didn't want to for feedback. But Karen, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. And like I said, I 100% agree. And like you say, it's one of those things we will continue to do that segment. I think that segment actually means a lot. Keeps us, well, I know for me informed, because some of the stories you're covering I don't always know.
Yeah, in my mind it keeps me informed at this point, and in my mind I don't know, like, it's good when y'all do write in like this. Don't get it twisted, because there are days where I'm like, do anybody want to hear this shit? All it is making us all upset.
Right.
Who gives a fuck? I know there are people that say they skip it. There's some people that say y'all are the only way I can listen to news about what's happening to our country, because y'all cover it in this manner. So anyway, man, I'm proud of the segment, and it just almost didn't happen, and every day it's a struggle to see if it's gonna happen again. So thank you for writing in.
Thank you, baby.
All right, let's get into some episodes for the week. But first I'll play a beat, and then we'll get some commercials in here somewhere. We had 3 episodes since the last time we did this, which was 2 weeks ago for our feedback show, which is why I think we have 15 comments.
People had time to catch up. That's the thing.
Y'all had
a week off. People like, oh shit, I can catch up my backlog.
Oh my goodness.
Some of y'all whole thing is to always be behind. I ain't mad at you.
Appia said the episode was called Karen is Not Stupid. Appia says, I think I should be entertaining in person. I make Germans laugh on a regular basis, like 5 to 6 laughs per day. All laughs caused by me combined. Well, my understanding is that the German laugh exchange rate is like 4-1 American laugh, so that's pretty good.
Your rates are pretty high.
I think people who complain about bad messaging on the left behave like people who just got robbed and think about what they could have done differently to prevent it. This way they can believe that they are in control. It's a lack of acceptance of the real situation. I truly do believe that too. I truly do. I like, you know, it's like I was saying, I know a person who's from one of these countries that Trump is targeting with his like trying to get these immigrants out the country. And this person is like, I did everything legal. I did everything the right way. I've been here for years. I have my paperwork. And and when I brought up like, yeah, but what about, you know, the El Salvadorian thing and the dude that got shipped out that, you know, the fucking judge said you have to bring him back and give him a trial because he didn't do anything wrong. And she was like, you know, well, you know, Salvadorians, they gotta they do be having some gangs down there, and also like, you know, maybe he did something bad. And I said, well, if he did something bad, you should be able to prove it in a court of law and then kick him out of the country. If those are the rules, just play by the rules.
Go through the proper manner.
You know, and because I'm not so ridiculous that I'm one of these people that's like immigration shouldn't exist. I actually don't even really participate in that conversation because I don't think it's a very realistic conversation that happens online. Like the idea of what to really be done about immigration, because it's pretty much, unless you're just like, no one should ever be told they can't come into the country, that it's a non-starter for the left. Like you can't even fucking say like, well, I can see some reasonable. It's like, fuck that. So I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. That's too far, too extreme. But I could have said, and I know some of y'all are thinking, well, why don't you just tell her like, hey, the motherfuckers ain't going by the rules. They could kick you out tomorrow and they really wouldn't give a fuck, and they wouldn't give you a right to due process or trial. They're kicking people out that do have the right paperwork. They're revoking people's visas and green cards that have been here for years. They're getting people and calling them criminals whether they are or not. They're going after people who protest against anything that this administration is for. It's not necessarily that they're playing fair, but then I realized she gotta believe in these rules, because like, if not for her believing in these rules, what else is there? Constant state of terror. And what am I adding to her life? Am I helping her? Is her existing in a constant state of fight or flight terror going to change anything positive for her in her life? No. Good. You might as well believe in the rules and hope that they hold up, because that's really all you have.
That's all you got.
And that's all any of us have. So why the fuck would I come down on you for needing to believe in a thing to live every day? So I say all of that to say that that's what it feels like when people go, no, but if Kamala would have said this, no, if the Democrats would have did this, no, if Merrick Garland would have said that. They need to believe that there was something that just didn't happen that bends the arc of the universe towards good, as opposed to there's just a lot of people who want bad things.
Yep.
And our side taking a day off is going to lead to bad things. Apia says, my over the sea comment from last week, a reaction to Leo's European model girlfriends who tend to be European. Unfortunately, I seem to accidentally almost call myself something racism related. Yeah, overseer. Racism, it destroys everything. Here I am trying to compare myself to a European yacht girl who does what it takes and lands somewhere bad. Yeah, exactly. But maybe that gets laughs in Germany, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Call yourself no overseer over here.
Please don't.
Shoe Booty says, time to beat a dead horse or whatever is in a hot dog. Oh God, why? This your fault, Shoe Booty. I just want y'all to know. When y'all don't give up, it's really y'all fault that this shit keep coming back up on the show. It's been 2 weeks for me. I've been ready to move on. But here we go. We got to go back to fucking hot dog date. When you say give me one with everything, you don't expect them to throw everything they have. I'm with Karen. If I ordered one with the word, I hope you get fucking macaroni and cheese on your goddamn hot dog, then, shoe booty. And then you'll understand that everything means everything. Let's look everything up in the goddamn dictionary. Maybe I don't know the definition of everything. Maybe that's the problem. Everything, all the things of a group or class. That seems to be what the fuck would happen if you said everything. Give me one with everything. Whatever is in the group or class of things that they are putting on hot dogs in that section is fitting to be part of everything, which is why they asked Karen 17 times, do you really mean everything? Before she finally looked up and was like, oh, no, I don't mean everything. Just because what you put on your hot dog, I'd figure ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, and maybe kraut. The fact that you even said maybe shows why your logic is faulty and you are just dead ass wrong. There can't be a maybe with everything. If you give me one with everything, and maybe they'll put some tomatoes. That's not how everything works now, is it? That's not how that works. And we all know that.
I will be paying attention moving forward to my hot dog ordering.
If you work somewhere and you have an actual job and someone says, give me something with everything, and you be like, I'll just go with how I feel everything is, you gonna get fired.
You gonna lose that job.
Come on, man. Why are y'all doing this? Do y'all just like to see me do this to y'all? Is that y'all got some type of sub fantasy or something? Like, oh, I really want Rob to be mad at me.
And they just trying to defend me.
Just because they got it doesn't mean they got to put it on there. Them hot dog people were too literal. That's what they get paid to do. Maybe you should open a hot dog stand called Everything, and then you only put 3 ingredients when people order everything, and then they go, what the fuck? How about that? You start a hot dog stand called What the Fuck, and it's just gonna be the only topic is gonna be everything. Be like, what would you like? One with everything. Okay, so everything, is that onions, tomato? What's your everything? Apparently it varies per person. It also shows how women like me and Karen are so cared for by our husbands. We are obviously intelligent women who are capable of navigating the world, but we got husbands that care for us so well that we are just the passenger princesses of life. As an overthinker who is riddled with anxiety, it's so nice to turn off all the thoughts and go into passenger princess mode. Fuck out of here with that shit. Karen gotta be around. When I'm not around, Karen gotta still do shit. And I need to have a dependable partner that leaves the house and don't come back with macaroni and cheese hot dogs. It's a very small ask.
Say it's a very small demand.
Come on. Karen's gonna be like, I left the house, I traded the cow for 3 beans, we gonna grow a beanstalk. And I'm gonna be like, now why the fuck would you have done that? Well, you never said anything about everything on hot dogs. You let it slide and you weren't there.
I'll be the one climbing up in the mountains. I mean in the clouds.
Appia says, unfortunately for me, Mr. Appia is the passenger princess in this house. I don't, yeah, that is unfortunate, but I think a lot of men are the passenger princess on the low. I mean,
they really are in
like
most households.
Who's most likely to call you from the grocery store? You know what I'm saying? Let's think about it. You said onions. Where are the onions? It's like, what? I gotta put a fucking
picture. That's what some people do. They be like, here's just pictures of
I gotta put one of those body cams on you and control you like a robot. You don't know how to fucking buy an onion. Anyway, so I have no idea what it's like to live like you do. The children even once made him a crown with the beautiful prince. It must be nice.
That's hilarious.
Keith says, every time you complain about people doing the Democrats or bad messaging thing, I feel like I'm tossing something in the collection plate because this is a huge pet peeve I have. To extend your Obamacare example a little further, Democrats are the ones who named it the Affordable Care Act. You think this would be obvious, and it is. And Republicans came up with Obamacare moniker as a derogatory term to hurt Obama, with that Obama embraced it because why the fuck would he be ashamed of one of the most significant accomplishments? Right. And this is the thing. People lose sight of the history and the context because they start from a place of, I'm mad at just the Democrats and I'm upset with them. So how can I change what happened into it's the Democrats' fault? Mm-hmm. Because that's what that person was saying. Like, they fumbled it with Obamacare. They should have been called it that. But they did start calling it that And like when Obama did that, they was like, that's wrong too. You shouldn't be call it Affordable Care Act. They don't want it if a black man's name on it. You can't win because we're starting from the point of whatever we can do to please the racist people and trick the racist people. It's like, what if you can't trick or please someone who happens to be racist? What if it's not an accident that they're racist? Of course, I'm not telling you or anyone else listening to the show anything you don't already know, but who else already knows this? All the people who blame Democrats for people not knowing Obamacare's Affordable Care Act, they were here for the same events we were, and they watched the same news we did in 2010, but they pretend not to know because they want to live in their preferred reality, which is, to the point you were making, the reason Democrats' message doesn't get through. Nigga, that's not the Democrats' fault, it's you. You're the problem.
Yes.
Ronan Raphael says, when I saw the title of this episode, which is Karen is Not Stupid, I thought the war had been declared and started dusting my battle armor. Then I realized it was my good brother Sean who was responsible for the title. I quickly retired the armor and added a new chapter to the Russian romance, Bayelsa. In Bayelsa, pre-order your copy now. We got a love triangle in our story now, right? I'm offended that you feel that only the Parava Quran of the Black Autism Nation doesn't have your back. I'll name the uncle that doesn't believe Russian Bay is legit after you. Sean said, oops, for some reason. EVE says, if you had a hot dog stand, Rod, and there was mac and cheese on the menu, I would still not expect mac and cheese to be put on a hot dog. It's a hot dog, and that's a hill I'll die on, Team Karen. Good. And then when I put the mac and cheese on your motherfucking hot dog, I'll say, I'm sorry, did you not see the sign that said no motherfucking refunds? And you're going to be like, what? You got a sign that say no motherfucking refunds? I'm like, yes, it's right there next to the macaroni and cheese that you apparently weren't paying attention to.
I was not paying attention.
Enjoy your hot dog. You know what's funny is, wouldn't it be hilarious if, like, we went back to the game and got a mac and cheese dog and that shit was banging?
I might get one just to see.
Wouldn't it be fucking
and that
crazy?
Shit be flames.
It would be fucking insane if
I'm
we
like,
had.
well, these white people was right.
Right. It was black people that sold it. All the people working there was black.
Yes.
It would be crazy if we ate that shit. It was like, you know what though? The new wave is the mac and cheese hot dog. This the only way I'm eating a hot dog.
The
from
new
now
hot
on.
flames is the mac and cheese dog.
If mac and cheese and hot dogs are on the menu, I 100% stand with you, Evie. But I gotta stand up for Rod. The picture on Rod's Instagram shows this hot dog stand literally had a cooked hot dog on the bun with mac and cheese on it for you to look at, smell, or give the finger to. I love Evie. Love your comments and your interactions with the show.
Oh yeah, I told y'all I chili grape the hell out them hot dogs. I paid them hot dogs no mind.
Yeah. I mean, I put the picture on our Instagram. I'm sorry, there's no excuse. Just Karen is even telling y'all there's no excuse, and y'all still won't be like, you know what? That's fine.
You know what? I looked at them hot dogs and Cuban beat them.
Y'all don't believe in y'all are the ones that truly don't believe Karen, because Karen's the one telling you like it's funny because I fucked up, and y'all like you didn't fuck up at all. It's actually so it's not funny at all. Actually, there's nothing hilarious about it at all. Nature Boy says, hi, Rod and Karen. Great feedback show. I wanted to speak on the Twitter exchange you had with the guy who got offended because you asked his age. I think you did a great job articulating something you seem to have made a living doing, right? It's a coincidence. The problem with having disagreements or opposing viewpoints, when people assign intention to your words, receive the intent they assign as an attack and respond to the attack is an endless circle of them chasing their own tail. Yes, and it's like a phrase I came up with, which is a long time ago, but it's like when somebody like doesn't trust you or whatever, when they have an olive branch is a weapon.
Yes, it is.
Like you put out an olive branch and they just see you swinging at them with a stick. They're like, oh, get the fuck out of here. And you're like, no, this is a peace offering. They're like, no, fuck that.
Yeah, they're not in a place to receive it.
Yeah, so I think that happens a lot online, and it does not happen to me as much anymore, but it's not because I think online has changed. I've changed, and I've just stopped talking to as many people. And of course they can't know this if they truly don't know me, but like if I respond to something, I am doing it out of a level of respect, meaning I just block, mute, unfollow, ignore people when I don't respect them and they say something to me that I would disagree with. I'm just like, who gives a fuck? Because I'm not really in a place of wanting to have conversations about disagreements. I find very little usefulness in that.
Yeah,
And I think
wasting my time, wasting my words.
I just think people have deluded themselves in the because social media, the only thing it can offer us is the semblance of a conversation. We have all deluded ourselves into thinking that the conversation is way more powerful than the conversation can be. It's like how people put activists in their bio, but it's just, you just have a blog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
People wanted us to call ourselves activists because we have a podcast, and I refuse because I don't see it as activism.
It's not.
And that's fine. But the point being, if you can trick yourself into like, this is the most powerful thing, then all of a sudden the conversation becomes dangerous to people. Like, we disagree. Well, that's because you're this type of person. Okay, well, I haven't even said anything yet. Well, I need you to be that. For me to be the hero, you got to be the villain. And I felt like that's what Buddy did. But the sad part is, to me, I literally have not thought about that dude since I brought it up on the show, and that's because it happened live, like pretty much immediately before we got on the show. But and thanks for this feedback, I think that person's account is private. They followed me. I had followed them back, but it was not like we weren't friends or anything.
Right.
And so I just unfollowed them, which for now I haven't seen what they've had to say about anything for weeks, and it's like, yeah, okay, and then this, I'm not trying to be petty, but this is just true, and I think it adds some context to this conversation, so I will bring it up. But I already had this person muted, which means I only see what they say to me directly anyway.
Right.
So I was not seeking their opinions out on many things anyway. Like, I wasn't ever looking to see what they had to say, and I'm pretty sure I had them muted because I probably felt that they said cliche stupid shit about Democrats and was like, I don't like seeing those things on my timeline because I don't want to be tempted to interact with somebody that I disagree with about something. Who knows, And so so now it's just been 2 weeks, and I may never ever see a word they have to say again, and who knows if they ever see what I have to say or not. But the way Twitter works, when you're private and I'm not, and I don't follow you, I can't see what you have to say to me anyway. So who knows what that person's saying? They could have read that exchange and realized they were wrong, or they or felt differently, or been like, damn, hey, I wonder what Rod thinks about the game. Well, now you'll never fucking know, and I'll never know that you don't know. It's just, it's sad, but it feels like a waste to me, because I did not approach that with a let's fight situation. Even when I mute somebody, I don't approach them with let's fight energy. I just be like, okay, I don't want to see what they have to say, but they still have the right to say it, and what's the point,
Yeah, just like in real life, everybody has opinions are everywhere and all over the place. I don't try to dictate it and or control it, so I'm not going to do that online.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the life hack is ordering the mac and cheese hot dog, mac and cheese on the side. It feels like society has gotten to a place where people have lost the ability to communicate because they lead with their emotions. Any disagreement is an attack, and trying to get people to further explain their point of view is seen as a violation, more so than an attempt to justify or clarify their words. You handled it maturely, I commend you, but a great job explaining how these tactics make communication more difficult. Thanks, Nature Boy.
Yeah, and also, in my opinion, I will continue to say this, I think people are just, they're addicted with the arguing, and they're addicted with the interactions. And like we said before, the quote-unquote conversation is part of it. And part of the conversation is coming in with your list or with your armor on or whatever it is, your battle gear, and let's fight. And people that do that all the time, when they interact with somebody who's not doing that all the time, all of a sudden you become the weirdo when you're not coming in on 10 like they do.
And also, one of the reasons I did ask his age is because it was on a personal level. I used to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a place of judgment. I'm not like, this ain't to dismiss you or shit you. I wasn't going to say, if you would have said I'm 25, I wasn't going to be like, well, fuck you then, nigga. You only 25. I was going to be like, oh, okay. Maybe you feel how I felt at 25.
Right.
And I don't disown 25-year-old Rod. That was part of my process to get to me now.
Agreed.
So, but if you don't trust me, why are we even discussing it? Because it's not a discussion to be had. You've decided I'm one way.
Yep.
So who gives a fuck at this point, Anyway, Miss Mars says, me being the adventurous sort, I would try mac and cheese on a hot dog with a brioche bun. How do I know if I like it or not? Great point. Karen is more than capable of ordering a hot dog. However, since she is in a partnership marriage, a little assistant goes a long way. Hot dog gate 2025. Shoe Booty says mac and cheese on a hot dog is probably good. Now, didn't you earlier say you don't expect it with everything?
Shoe Booty don't change their mind. That's hilarious.
This is what happened when we take 2 weeks off. Now
We give people too much time.
Too much time to go back and reread and comment. Y'all forgot how y'all felt. No one else had to pour Tyler meal of a cup of hot dogs and the mac and cheese. That shit slapped. Well, so now you talked yourself into it. Go order one with everything. Sean says, I think Rod may have almost stumbled on the truth behind the mac and cheese hot dog. There was a story a while back of a German pizza place that served the number 40 pizza. That was a pizza with a side of cocaine. The mac and cheese hot dog, like the number 40 pizza or anything on the Arby's menu, is just a front for ordering drugs.
Oh, no.
EVE says, hey, friend, not too much on Arby's. They had a meat. Sean says, I haven't been in decades, but if they open a shop in Osaka, I'll head on down and tell them EVE sent me. Oh, God. Just tell them Satan sent you. Tell them the devil, the tool of the devil sent you to look at it. Oh, sorry. YouTube comments. We got 11 of the YouTube comments. Let's see. I'm not gonna read the emoji ones, but thank y'all for writing the emoji ones. It all helps the algorithm. Provocative as fuck says, hey, what up, famo? Dark Nam just says, I grew up in NYC. We had authentic Italian subs. AC Wells responds, Milano still slaps. They got one up by Columbia now. I remember the food distribution center, says Dark Namja. And then hentai sunglasses emoji.
Hey, what's happening now?
The girl on the other side of the road says, it's more like imitation crab and real crab. Too close but never hit the spot. I'm not sure which thing that was referring to, but I love imitation crab. I like it more than crab. I know. I don't give a fuck though.
That's like me and Papa John.
In certain dishes, imitation crab actually go harder than crab.
In certain dishes, it does taste better. Yeah.
Like I realize, like one of them is pho. Like with pho, man. There's a place where sometimes I order nothing but imitation crab, no shrimp, no scallops. No. I'm like, just
extra crab,
extra fake crab, please.
I know it ain't real. You know it ain't real. Okay.
And then that greasy, terrible for you, whatever that amalgamation of cheese and bullshit is that is at the Chinese buffets. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like imitation crab and cheese, basically. Is it
fried?
It's not fried. No. It's imitation crab, cheese.
Oh, it's
gotta be like mayonnaise. It's like a casserole.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I have no idea what's in that shit. There's no way it's good for you.
Oh,
no way. 100%.
Your cholesterol is going through the roof.
Yeah, it's just grease and crab.
Yes, it is.
Imitation crab. But I'll eat that. Sometimes. I'll be like, and it's not all the time, but I'll get a craving for it like twice a year, and I'll be like, I gotta get some of that bullshit.
It is baked too.
I think that's what they call it on the buffet. Bullshit. Imitation crab bullshit, please. Thank you. And it's just enough to remind myself that I don't need to be eating this. I'll eat like one spoonful and be like, yep, and that's why you don't eat this all the time.
That's why you don't eat it.
Meek 76 says, you both are a really good example of what happens when two people genuinely are looking to grow both individually and as a team. I could tell in the interview with the dermatologist that Karen was enthusiastic, curious, prepared, and attentive. The best qualities of a good interviewer. And Rod, you being observant and equally attentive and prepared allowed Karen to take the lead multiple times. Great job to both of you on the podcast in general, and cue the music. Rod was right. Karen is most definitely not stupid. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. That means a lot to me, because I had a really good time, and me and Roger sat down and talked about it, and he was just like, you come up with questions, and baby, I came up with questions. I was like, oh, okay, I get to ask the questions. So I was just asking her all the questions that I could come up with that I've always wanted to know.
Yeah, and it was great. And I think some days you're more assertive and than others or whatever. And I try to adjust to it because, we don't sit down and plan the show. We don't have segments. Karen doesn't do and I know someone will write in, why don't y'all have Karen do Karen works a full-time fucking job it's just easier for us to come to the show. I do all the preparation, and Karen can just be herself, as opposed to, hey, in addition to working those 8 hours at the computer, can you also take a couple more hours of read some articles and bring us some segments? It was hard enough just to get the random thoughts and the banter to be consistent, which I'm very proud of. We've gotten that to be very consistent, and Karen's always bringing things, whether I make fun of them or whatever, it's still it's better than not, you know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for seeing us and seeing that effort.
And that's half the fun. And I think I'm getting better, because the thing is, he asked, I was like, I don't have any, but it's just the fact that I really wasn't paying attention to my surrounding, because it's one of those things where in my mind I don't really have that much of an exciting life, but shit happens around me and I just need to be aware of it.
And honestly, like, all that, people are relate to it, because all that stuff is relevant to somebody, and just even when I can't see it or whatever, is, you know, whether I can add to it or not, or make fun or joke or whatever, that's part of it, you know. Like we just make fun of it, or make fun out of it, not make fun of it, you know what I'm saying? Sean says, anyone else feel like eating hot dogs? You know what's weird, Sean? I have been craving hot dogs for a couple weeks. I have. Like, I'll be out and I'll be thinking like, man, you know, I could go for a hot dog. But I don't even know where to get hot dogs, really. I know the baseball game, but like JJ Red Hot's closed.
They did.
And I don't know any. I'm sure there are other hot dog places in Charlotte. It's not enough of a craving for me to be like, let me drive across town to get a hot dog. But I think it's because of fucking hot dog gate. I've been thinking about these fucking hot dogs. I don't even eat hot dogs like that. I could buy some and put them in my house, and I don't.
We do not.
Ron says, sorry to clarify my comment about the hot dog show. Y'all forgot the official weapon at the start. It's like skipping the theme song. It happens. It happens.
Sometimes we drop the ball. Sorry about that, baby.
It happens. Keep y'all on y'all toes. I was wondering which of you would notice. It was honestly a test, and you the only one that passed.
To see who was listening. You
the only one that passed. Me and Karen did sit before the show and said, let's not say the theme song. Let's not say the weapon.
That is not a true statement.
And we'll see which one of our listeners is a real fan. The poll: do you think Karen is capable of ordering a hot dog by herself?
I hope I can. I have before.
The title is Karen is not stupid. That's the title. Now, apparently, 82% of the audience, much like myself, believe in Karen.
Some people say,
I think Karen.
I don't have faith in Karen's decision making.
82%. I'm gonna round it up to 83%. 83% of us believe Karen is totally capable, as a fully fleshed out human being, adult woman, to order a hot dog. Unfortunately, 17%. Many of you apparently who left comments this week.
Like, I don't know about Karen now.
Do not believe Karen is capable of ordering a hot dog on her own, which is honestly sad. I don't think you guys believe in her the way I do. And I think you guys should stop and reconsider that and think, am I helping her when I write in and say shit like, Rod, you got to stop her from ordering hot dogs. You know she's stupid. Maybe you should stop and think about what you're trying to tell her husband, because I personally do think she can do it. I've seen her do it before. I've been places where she's ordered hot dogs.
I can.
So
I believe in myself.
I'm sorry y'all can't believe in her, but I do. Damn it. The next episode is America Needs a Red Lobster President, where we had Shalewa and Gastor from the War Report on. Two of our faves. 7 comments, I think, is what we got here. Yep, 7 comments. All right, here we go. Apia says, AI, as I see it, is now a summary machine of what already exists and creates something similar to it. This can be useful, but I don't see it creating anything new or innovative. As you said, it uses the work of authors without conversation. I try to switch it off when I can, because its suggestions were never helpful for me at work. It was always off, the tone all wrong. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm open to have my mind blown. It hasn't happened yet. Yes, and I think because there's a person, friend of the show, she always emails me and sends me links and what do you call them? Direct messages on Instagram and stuff. Cool person, very nice person. Always like sends us cards for Christmas and stuff. Like dope person. But she's been sending me these emails and they don't have much of a description other than just like, here's a link to an article about something that AI is helping or useful for. I just want people to understand, I never said AI can't be useful.
Oh yeah, it's useful.
I said, and I think we need to be clear, because I think, and this happens all the time, people hear things in their sensitivities and they hear something that isn't being said. I'm not saying AI can't help people. I'm not saying it can't make things better. What I am saying is, as of right now, what we have is not actually artificial intelligence.
Right.
It is automation. It is being called artificial intelligence.
Agreed.
Artificial intelligence would mean that it is like a human being
coming up with original thoughts.
That not just comes up with original thoughts, but like when you can employ an AI would mean, I say our AI is now doing all of the email correspondence to the Blackout Tips. I don't need to look at this, check in on this, unless something goes horribly wrong, but it's the AI that's doing the work. The same way that if I hired an intern to answer all our emails or do our social media.
That's not gonna happen because
we don't have that yet.
Right, yet.
Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But what is being sold to us is a promise that it will happen. And my question is, what happens if it doesn't? What happens if what we get is just dope ass automation? You know, stuff like, oh, this AI can look at the results of medical tests and it can find cancer better than a human can. That's fine. That is it automating a tool. That is like, you know, it's like saying a radar can find something better than. Yes, I'm not anti-radar. I'm not anti-improvement, but I am anti this idea of calling something artificial intelligence, because ultimately what I think that part is truly to replace us as humans and to make us seem less valuable to each other.
Right.
As if you don't need a person, you got the AI to do it. And I think that is a very dangerous thing, especially in a capitalistic country that already devalues the worker and the individuality of a person and the humanity so much. You know, when companies are like Microsoft gaming is stopping actual art and video games from being made so they can triple down their investments on artificial intelligence, which to them is just a way of automating video games so they don't have to pay people and they can
for their creativity.
Right. And they can look at creativity and go, no, we have a formula that does it for you as a robot. And so those are the things I'm talking about. I'm not saying it can't, the automation part of it can't help. I think it does help. When Karen talks about the Bojangles thing, it's a joke, but I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the artificial intelligence, in quotes, because it's just automation. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have the automated Bolinda at Bojangles than the people. Bolinda don't fuck up.
No, Bolinda don't be fucking up. Bolinda be like, here's your order. This is what you got.
Bolinda don't get mad and threaten to stab me over sauce.
Right.
So like, yes, that's fine with me. And the people still have to work there to make the sandwich. So
yes, they do.
No one's being harmed. No one was unemployed because of that. A human still takes the money at the register. Mm-hmm. So like the automation can work, and I'm for, you know, if we can automate something in a way that helps people, I'm totally down with that. But yeah, a lot of this is definitely not from a good place and grifting.
Yes, it is, because they've been selling this shit for a long time. And the thing about AI, a lot of times people say AI does shit and nobody knows why. Like, it just randomly just does shit. And the thing about AI, that, you know, if it was true artificial intelligence, like you said, most people that work with AI is like, yeah, we got to check on it, we got to monitor it, we got to be sure it gives us the correct results. We can't just let it run free, because we don't know what the fuck it's gonna do.
Yeah. So back to this. She says the new Musk party could take away votes from Republicans, but also it could go nowhere as he concentrates on something totally different in a week. Right. He didn't last a week. He's already back to being a Nazi. So I don't know what. I'm more upset that there are people who get excited about him saying shit like that and go, well, maybe if we get him on our side. It's like, you are Lucy. You are Lucy as football, and you Charlie Brown, and you think you about to kick that bitch. That's who you are. Are you proud of yourself? Look in the mirror. How many times is this man gonna do something like that? The fact that y'all keep wanting the inexhaustible belief that these people have not shown us who they are, and the real them is a good person that just needs to come out of hiding, it is literally killing us. It is literally killing us. We keep giving these people so many chances. Like, our good faith is not, at this point, is bad faith. You know what I'm saying?
And then get mad at me, but I was like, bitch, what are we doing?
Right. Like, I wanted to see the cartoon where Charlie just kicks Lucy.
Yes, smack it square in the face.
Like, that would I mean, they couldn't have put it in the paper, but that's the one.
They definitely could have put. That'd have been the last episode ever.
Well, he just runs and drop kicks her in the chest and goes, "That's the last fucking time we play football now, ain't it?" I'll be like,
right.
Exactly.
And she go flying off the screen. Yes, I mean,
Get her,
the
Charlie.
panel.
Get her, Charlie. That's what I'm saying.
I've had enough of you, bitch. Kick.
Then he go into jail. Police show up to arrest him.
Yeah.
They read him his rights, but he can't understand.
Get charged for bullying.
I also wonder who would really vote for a party founded by Musk, but then look at the people who voted for the last election, American election, and see that everything is possible as long as you're white, rich man who loves to be angry. Otherwise, it's what about her emails? But overall, it's good that seems to be broken up. They seem to be broken up for real. We'll see. I don't put nothing past them.
No, they're kissing makeup next week.
Yeah, I don't know. They both think they're using each other, and they both have no respect for the other. So people like that, I think, could easily, if it's in their quote-unquote best interest, feel like they're playing each other and be right back to buddies. Ronan Raviel says, as I chill with a cool, refreshing German beer while in Appia's home base, I recall that, why do you always have to tell us where you are you actually not in these places and this your alibi?
You scamming us, Raphael?
You could just write in your thoughts on the episode.
I gotta let y'all know I be doing shit.
No, I don't think so. I think he's not even in Germany. He's somewhere robbing somebody or doing some Carmen Sandiego bullshit.
This is so we don't sniff him out.
Yeah. And then he gonna use us as an alibi in the court. Like, no, I couldn't have been in Nigeria, Your Honor.
I wrote to the show.
Look at my comment I left on the Blackout Test. Well, I'm gonna let you know. This thing records your IP address. Now, I don't want to have to go click on it because I don't want to be a witness to no bullshit. But
don't click on it.
I got a feeling I click on this shit. It's gonna be Manila or some motherfucking some sketchy ass shit you up to. Anyway,
It's gonna be in the middle of nowhere.
as I am definitely, it is 4:00 and I am definitely in Germany right now doing
Wink,
German
wink.
things.
Okay, wink,
I'm
wink.
not robbing the palace of the crown jewels. I recall that in the last 5 years, we had Andrew Yang's Ford party. Now, where he's gone, right? He's an influencer of some type. And January this year's Mark. By the way, okay. Another thing that makes me lose respect for people, honestly, it's when they do shit like, man, it's Tulsi Gabbard. You know, Andrew Yang, man, I kind of like what he's saying. You know, that monthly income, that universal income he's talking about. I, honest to God, I just see Charlie Brown kicking that motherfucking football, swinging at that football, dog.
You be like, they not serious.
I just really, I can't. I'm like, oh, you're stupid. Oh, you a person that can be, like, I could get you to like pay for that prepaid legal fees and shit, like the pyramid scheme bullshit. You one of them people.
That fool mining.
This America, dog. I don't know what to tell you. It's two options. It's gonna be two options, no matter how much you want it to change.
No matter how much you want that third option, unless you gonna do the manpower and the legwork to make it valuable.
Just let me know when you serious.
Yep, let me know when you real.
These not serious people, and you keep bringing them in my face. So anyway, you just reminded me of Andrew Yang's Ford party was one of the things I was looking at people like, oh, you're dumb. Oh, well, I don't want to say it to you in your face. I mean, that's just rude, but I guess I'll see you in 2 months when you realize this guy's a fucking clown.
Yes.
Like what?
And he's out of the general election. Okay.
Yeah, like what are you doing? But okay, I wouldn't have said it out loud. Somebody probably own an Andrew Yang shirt somewhere, still trying to convince me. Anyway.
Otherwise, right.
In January this year, Mark Cuban was talking about starting a new movement, political party with all the homeless Republicans who could no longer find a home in the GOP. And of course, Democrats were two left for them. Ford party, interestingly, wasn't considered an option. It's building from scratch and achieve glory in one cycle of bust. Elon's party will go the same route, and then we'll blame Epstein, Madoff, and any dead person he can remember. Y'all better off with my leadership. Okay, I knew it.
You know it. Go get to the scamming part.
A vote for Ronan Raphael, aka Paraba Karan, aka. Y'all better off my leadership than any of them trash got to offer. Join the Orcas Protection Party now. For the OPP. You mean the Ops? I'm not joining a party called the Ops, buddy. Sean says, when Rod was talking about larger people eating on camera, back when I was doing comedy on Japanese TV, I ended up with an agent. It's complicated. And they called me up and told me they were looking for someone like me to be in an eating competition. Now, I may be above the average weight, but I actually don't eat that much. Same story of my life. Ugh. Like I wish the food justified it. You know, people make a lot of assumptions, but I'm like, I really don't eat. I really do not sit down and be like, oh my God, a whole pizza for me. No. Anyway, the idea that it could be used to either minimize my selection of roles going forward or be passed around by my students, in addition to the fact I could be the last place in the eating competition, led up to an immediate no. Right? What's the positive for you? You
Not the last place in the eating
you
competition.
win so the biggest positive for you is that your big ass wins the competition and deals with all the fat phobia of the Japanese TV watching audience. Was there $1 billion on the line? Like, what was the other? What do you get other than just the ridicule of that? I'm sure you already were dealing with as a foreigner in Japan who is bigger. Anyway. Anyway, that's just to say good job on standing your ground, even though some lobster sounds delicious at the moment. It did sound delicious. I almost did it for the lobster, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't. People I know watch the show. And I can't be like, the thing they saw me doing was eating a big ass. They going to every day I would see that picture for some reason. I don't even know what I would be saying. I don't even know what I could just be like, actually I think LeBron better than Jordan. Really? You want to eat some lobster with that, you big bitch? And I'm like, see, I shouldn't have did it. Now I got to deal with this shit forever. I'm not strong enough to deal with y'all.
Yeah, child, we had enough of that from Kit Kat Gate.
Yeah, exactly.
When Kit Kat Gate went overseas, oh boy.
I'm glad that deleted that tweet. I auto-deleted that tweet a long time ago, and people still bring it up without the tweet. They just be like, anytime somebody eat a Kit Kat all fucked up, they be like, hey, remember when Rod did it, you fucking animal? Shoe Booty says, I started trying to use AI to help with some mundane email tasks, and it's not intelligent. It can automate, but it will still get dates wrong, and I have to proofread closely, honestly. Yes, and okay, as an artist, this is a big pet peeve of mine, because in the Writers Guild, we had to fight to keep AI out of like the hands of the upper brass who want to use it to replace writers. And what they would do is they would hire the AI to write a script, which is just them saying like, give me a drama that is also a thriller and about cops and about drugs. And so then it writes this fake, in the style of Tyler Perry or whatever. So it writes this script. Then what they were going to do is contract out labor to writers. So now we don't have actual writing jobs, right? Now we're not getting paid and getting insurance through the Writers Guild. They were going to contract out like by the hour labor, like here's $500 flat fee for us to actually go in, correct and rewrite the AI script.
Bitch, just let me do it. What the fuck is this? Don't make sense.
So this is one of the reasons that from an artistic perspective, I do understand it is right now it's theft and automation. It's not actually intelligent.
Right.
Because being actually intelligent, if you hired a writer for that job and you said, Rod, I see what you wrote, but this is what you need to work on. You just give me the notes. I come back and it's done. Right? Rod, hey, actually, now I think about it, the cops let's not make it police. Let's make it about a church. Let's make them all priests. I come back with the finished, hey, here's the version with the priest. The AI, you got to come to me to be like, Rod, I need you to change it to this now.
And it's so much more work because you literally have to redo it from scratch.
And I'm not getting paid as a writer. So what it's about is not valuing humanity.
Right.
So like I said, I'm not against automation and I'm not against where it can make our lives easier. If you tell me it's gonna help with medical diagnosis, why would I ever be against that? If it can find cancer in breast 90% better than humans, then yes, sign me the fuck up. That's not the problem for me. A doctor's still gonna go in and do that surgery or whatever.
Yes,
they
are. And they might, use instruments for assistance.
A human's gonna tell you the diagnosis. Think about that.
Right.
The AI can't just spit out like, here's an email, you got cancer. Like, we don't want that world for real. So I'm not anti-AI on some dumbass like the Terminators are coming shit. I'm just anti the lack of humanity and valuing of our humanity.
Yes, and I know it's like running jokes on AI about quote unquote how Japan is in the future and things like that, and they have like some of their stores and like or like all automated, like just beginning to end automated, and they said they're having this trend in some of their stores where people are complaining that about the human interaction. They was like, you go in there, it's cold, and shit like that. So it's one of those things where we actually need each other, and I understand everybody would go, yeah, we don't want to pay them $15 an hour, blah 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 blah. But it's like, okay, we've
kind of gone too far on the introvert shit. Like, I'm an actual introvert, but
yes, you are.
I don't need society to like mirror me. I don't not value people. I'm like, a person. Like, but I feel like maybe the pandemic. Anyway.
Yeah, I think the pandemic impacted people more than they're willing to realize.
The recent project I gave it was to summarize a list of events that I provided from links, give info with date, time, price, then a blurb of info I had introducing and sign off. The hard work of compiling the data from different sources was great, but it got an easy thing wrong. That seemed like human error. I would make saying Friday, August 9th when it should read Saturday, August 9th. It's not artificially intelligent if it's making the same organic, stupid mistakes that a human would. I agree. I just, like I said, a great example is Google. How many of us are like, Google was just better when it actually linked you to the experts or the page it was supposed to take you to?
This AI bullshit.
It was like it was better when you didn't spend a bunch of time being like, is this even right?
Is this even real?
Like, what am I reading? Did this happen?
Right. You almost have to re-verify Google. The fuck?
Right. So I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. And anyway, it's just it's not what it's advertised to be yet. CP Shelton says, this is Charles from Transmissions, who says, I work on AI in my day job, and Rod is right that it is automation, not actual intelligence. Thank you, buddy. A lot of the history of AI and computing is figuring out how much of what humans do can actually be automated and realizing that there's still so much further to go to achieve actual intelligence. Years ago, people thought that only human intelligence could do complex math calculations, but computers have us beat there easily. Then people thought a computer beating a grandmaster in chess would prove its intelligence, and that's been done as well. And Alan Turing proposed a Turing test that said if you could have a computer program fool a human and carry on a conversation, that would prove intelligence. Now chatbots powered by ChatGPT and other large language models can do that too. But most people understand that neither a calculator nor a chess playing program nor a sassy chatbot nor any other computer program is actually intelligent. Dog, the fact that Grok, I think is what it's called, the AI on Twitter that Elon Musk is so proud of, the fact that Elon Musk changed it and it became a neo-Nazi in like one day, that's not intelligence. That's not intelligence.
No.
You just, it couldn't figure out. You're trying to put it this way. I'm a person. If you came up to me and said, Rod, I know you are against these values, but I need you to be a neo-Nazi by the end of the day, I'd be like, fuck you, suck my dick. I'm a person. I have my own autonomy.
Right.
You can't just automate me into being a fucking racist. But you can if you control the machine.
Yeah, if you do it right. And also, it's one of those things where the system can only do what it's programmed to do.
Right.
It can't change its minds. It really can't. Not trying funny, have higher intellectual thought process because it's not thinking. It's literally automating and regurgitating shit that's already on. It's basically one of the worst places it could get it online.
Right. He goes on to say, Humans have figured out how to automate things that we used to think require human intelligence to do. What scares me is that tech billionaires have the least understanding of what large language models are and what they're good for, and yet they think they can replace a large portion or all of human creative output. These LLMs are built in such a way that they don't even understand how they work. At their core, they are just algorithms that run very complex equations of billions of math operations based on the training data that you feed into it.
Right.
But the equations are so complex that it's essentially a black box we don't understand. We feed inputs into it, and the outputs are mostly reasonable, but we have a very vague notion of how we got those outputs. It's definitely not anything close to thinking or reasoning as we humans understand it. It's mimicry, not creativity.
Agreed.
And also, it takes so much energy and computing power, contributing to more climate change as well. To build these systems to badly mimic what a single human can do efficiently on a brain that runs on the equivalent of 20 watts of electricity. Large language models can do some amazing things just by being essentially autocomplete on steroids. For example, I use it to help write code sometimes, but I have to be the one responsible for making sure the code the LLM gives me actually works and doesn't have any bugs, right? Because it's not really intelligent for real. It's automated.
Right.
The LLM doesn't actually understand what program I want to create. It just synthesizes code from all the existing code examples humans have already put on the internet. Maybe someday soon LLMs or some other new technology will be able to achieve something similar to human creativity, but I don't think we're close. The nightmare scenario isn't Skynet becoming self-aware and turning on its human masters. It's the human masters decided Skynet is good enough to replace an actual human decision making. And the reality is that it doesn't make decisions at all. It just follows an algorithm we don't even understand that could have some disastrous fail state we didn't anticipate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also like it is still made essentially by humans, and like you brought up about the tech bro guys, look how much damage they've done to society that's not AI. Like look at the way they run social media and what it turns into. Right? Free for all, open thing, be racist, who gives a fuck? It's all freedom of speech. I'm a white man, don't hurt my feelings. Get over it. Like these are not the people that should be shepherding our society. Elon Musk should not be deciding anything for our government or humans futures. Evie says, I love Gastor and Shalewa. I listen to War Report thanks to the Blackout Tips, and they're so hilarious. Please have them on often. I think Shalewa was on point when she said that Diddy will probably get a pardon because more than he loves having his saggy musty balls gargled, Dump loves money and Diddy is willing to pay the price for his freedom. And the sad thing is when he does pardon Diddy, he'll say this is something he did for the black community.
Of course.
From your nightmares to my ears. Diddy should have been under the jail when he shot that lady in the face and Sean took the fall for it. He's a horrible person. I hated those making the band shows when he made the band walk 100 blocks for some damn cheesecake. I hope he drives into a sinkhole. Let's see. YouTube.
Let us know how you really feel.
Right. YouTube, we got some comments. Once again, not reading emojis. Dark Manom just says, isn't this the lady who appeared with Chadwick Boseman and Jimmy Fallon? That is Shalewa Sharp. Mm-hmm. Correct. Joseph says AI got mad and kicked Shalewa off the call. Ms. Rose says a troop shipper check-in. I've been a paid tipper for some time, but I'm now a War Report Patreon subscriber. Let's go. Woo-hoo! Sean says even a broken clock is right twice a day. Throw shaking head emoji. I'm with you on the AI bullshit. Hit the button. Rod was right. Rod was right. Thank you, buddy. Darth Vakra says Rod said something about missing out on money because something sounded like a scam. Summer 2009, a bunch of Asian tech bros I hung out with talking about some imaginary money BS. They were all working on advanced degrees and had way more disposable income than my $11 an hour self did, even though I was living with my mom and had no real bills. Turned out they were trying to put me on to Bitcoin. If I would have invested a couple months of GameStop checks and 2 FAFSA checks, I could have been chilling right now. But alas, I did. What did Ern say in Atlanta? Poor people don't have time for investments because poor people are too busy trying not to be poor. Yep.
Right. They ain't got time to wait for the long-term payout.
And the worst part is like, okay, so then what's happened since then? That's how they get you. Is like the problem with crypto for the most part, and I'm not an expert on it, but I'm just saying how it is treated in the zeitgeist, is that the Bitcoin thing is treated like a lottery ticket that people invested in and everybody got rich. But then what they sell us on today is this idea of, no, it's even more stable and it's better than the dollar. And I'm like, it can't be both. It can't be both. Either it's an investment that you're hoping like rockets and it's all about the versatility and riding the wave and catching it on the up, and that's why you have 70 million of them now in different types, or it's a savings account. It can't be both. I'm sorry, pick a lane. And the fact that it switches up depending on who's trying to sell you which, nah, nigga, I'll just have to miss out, and it's okay. TKG says eating tuna fish out the can by itself. Who said that? Gastor? Somebody said that. It was funny. The girl on the other side of the road said Tyler Perry has written the same story many times that I don't think AI can compete with it. I know. I'm gonna watch that Madea movie too. I don't give a fuck. Medea's Destination Wedding. I'm there. I mean, I'm there.
Come on.
So she said, "Not you telling on me." I forget the minute mark, but yeah, I must have said something. Christoph said, "Do y'all remember the trial of R. Kelly episode of Boondocks?" Oh, and he said, "I wrote this comment before the mark." Yeah, I brought it up. Jason says, "Love it when Shalewa and Gastar are on. I think Diddy is done even if he gets let out. The gay rumors would keep him from being embraced by the cats who would normally be arms wide open for a domestic abuser." I wonder how many details those people know
or paid attention to.
Because I think people that know the detail, well, you know, I don't know. I hope you're right, but I don't know.
I could literally see this going either way.
Me too.
I could see him coming out and everybody welcoming him back in, and then everybody act like nothing happened. I can also see him coming out and everybody's like, "I don't ever want to work with you again." Like, you just never.
Because he also kind of staked this whole thing. A lot of people stake their reputation on the like, what, man? He just a freak.
Mm-hmm.
He just a freak. What's the problem? He can't be a freak. And when you do that, it's like I actually don't know the answer to like how these motherfuckers gonna react, because they might put all that under some freak shit. I don't know.
And there's a lot of freaks out there that is not breaking the law.
And a tie that binds a lot of people is just that shared hatred of women.
Agreed.
You know, because it just does, and it's like, well, as long as he was hating women, being hard towards women, those are his main victims, then I'm gonna just let it be. Like what? Lil Boosie care about women now? No. I'll be honest, the only thing of Diddy I would watch is if they did a Suge Diddy one-on-one interview like they did Isaiah Thomas and Magic or Shaq and Kobe. That would be riveting. I hope Elon does start the party. Why should the left be the only wing with a sabotaging element inside of it? Disrupt Elon. It's crazy how Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan were in the same faction when Kev is out there holding down for the cause. The NWO was always headed for a breakup. Shalewa and Gaster excelled at gender wars for the first timers. When I was a young, McDonald's was the cheap date, and now it's Cheesecake Factory. Inflation.
Went up way high.
He said, I think we call that dating inflation.
Yep.
It's definitely dating inflation, because that's crazy.
We went from fast food to sit down restaurant.
Yeah. It used to mean something when you was like, get that extra cheese, girl.
You right?
Oh, you want bacon on there? Go and get that bacon, girl. That's because I'm gonna take care of you. You
want that double cheeseburger? I'll pay for the extra patty.
You a real go getter. Okay, you would a go getter. You would a man that take care of his woman. Now it's like you can't do a $200 date. It's like no. The gender wars where the dude was reluctantly agreeing with the gorgeous woman, that seemed like a gender cold war. You could tell the conditions from the war were there, especially that fur vest, but everyone was still being diplomatic.
Fur vest.
Yeah, Shalewa sussed that out tremendously, because that dude definitely is a fuckboy, 100%. Mm-hmm. Will there ever be a liberal violent revolution in America? 85% say no, but 15% of y'all say yes. Okay.
I say no. Okay. Well then, I hope y'all own guns. I like. When
I just need that 15% to stop kidding themselves. Mm-hmm. How are we not there already?
Yeah, like, as long as it's being
what y'all waiting on?
Yeah, get out there in the streets.
If y'all don't get out there with y'all motherfucking trans inclusive flags and start killing some people or something? Like, what is happening?
Take them out. That's what I'm talking about. You got to be violent.
You can't be like
you
it's
can't
gonna
be
be
non-violent.
You can't be like it's gonna be a violent revolution, and every single example I cite is just gonna be like, and then conservatives ran up on the White House, then they ran up on this, and then they ran up on the government of this. Like, come on, man. Anyway,
stab them to death with a picket sign. That's not how this works. You
good
need
luck,
bullets
man.
and guns.
Good luck. I don't think it's ever happening. All right, another beat, and then we'll come back. All right. 3123, the new Jock Jams is the episode. Neb says, the Walmart nearest me is super nice too. There aren't any Walmarts in Seattle anymore, so I haven't seen one in ages, but the Targets in the city have become damn apocalyptic. Absolute awful hellholes with no stock and no staff. Tons of police brutality and locked shelves and crazy long checkout lines since they maybe only ever have one cashier who always seems to be in training. That's crazy because we was in Seattle. We went to the Target in Seattle. This is back in the before days.
Been a while ago.
Yeah, like many, like several years ago. But I thought it was nice. It was 2 stories. Maybe shit has changed. I don't know. When I went to a Walmart in the suburbs for the first time in years, it was so nice. Very confusing. I haven't been to the suburb Target, so maybe it's nice too, but I have no reason to go there when the Walmart is so nice and the city Targets have made me hate the entire company. Appia says, Ghislaine did terrible things, no doubt there, but it's still interesting that she, a woman, is the only one person in jail in this sex trafficking case. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, she has literally dozens of victims. And apparently no clients who
No clients.
I mean, y'all make it make sense. She in jail for, I mean, obviously Epstein, there's no list. There's plenty of women who have testified that the men on that list did things to him. And she in jail and there's nothing to see here. So there we go. Solved it. Obviously, she trafficked the young girls to no one, only to herself, because there seems to be no customers at all. Glad that we solved this. I didn't want to add a third comment to yesterday, but I will share my wisdom here about fuckboys. Listen up, children. Grandma Appia is giving you life lessons. The less good looking fuckboy is the most dangerous one. I've made this experience myself and have seen it often with others. The less attractive one seems less of a danger because he should feel so lucky to date an attractive woman. That's what I thought at 20. But no, this is exactly his trick. A less attractive man can still have an awful character. Yes. You don't suspect him to be a cheater and a lie and are less careful, but he is, and in the end, you didn't even have a hot guy to look at.
Right? At least be good looking.
Shame. Even in Germany, they doing it. Jagmeet Singh apologizing to Drake is further proof of Rod's point that it's not our side that brings any damn revolution. That was your point on Sunday's episode. That man was once looked at as a possible prime minister of Canada. Good thing he didn't make it to that office. How on earth would he have tackled Trump? By the way, don't tell me Drake attended that Kendrick concert in Toronto. I wouldn't put it past his sorry ass. The bear story. I figured, this is Ronald Raphael, by the way, I forgot to say. I figured that what happened, the knucklehead tried to get a photo with a bear on the most wanted bear list for child support. The bear had to delete evidence immediately. Bear Twitter was all about it and passed it on to the orcas.
You take a picture of me?
He said, Dracarys on the McTerrible sheriff.
Yes, that was really bad.
What the hell was that? Almost messed up my vacay mode. Give me his city location. I'll send his info to Drake telling him the sheriff was at a Kendrick concert. They should duke it out for the McNasty title. Ramsey D. Jenkins says 5 stars. I Googled Biscuit Belly and they have several locations in the South, but not Texas yet.
Okay, I didn't even know it was a chain.
AVE says everything I learned about DDG has been against my will. Never heard of any of his music, but every time I hear anything about him, it's usually negative. Sometimes I wish being a content creator didn't make some of these morons famous. Aubrey Graham continues to prove just how big a loser he is. Imagine getting posted about someone attending a concert. Every time he does stuff like this, he proves Kendrick's point. He keeps saying how unbothered he is, but I've never seen someone more bothered than him. He needs to disappear for a while because people would have been stopped talking about the big L he took if he wouldn't do stuff like this. The irony of these floods is that the town in Texas that got hit hard by these floods and lives were lost is they refused to take money when Obama was in office to update their weather warning system. What's even worse is they kept the money and they still didn't, so that no other state, Texas kept the money so that the Obama administration couldn't give it to other states. And then they did not spend that money on the weather system. They said they didn't want communist money. It's so crazy that this came back to bite them in the butt. But what do we do with these people that when they won't admit that that's what happened? Because that's what happened. But like, they act like it's too soon to bring it up. Okay, whatever. The second thing they do is they just don't take the L. It's like when the kids got shot up in that town in Texas, and you're like, the next election they still voted Republican. I'm like, I don't know. I guess they just don't care that their kids got killed because of rampant lack of gun laws. I guess they just did not give a fuck. That community was not in any way changed in the core of their being to say we must stand against what happened and this should never happen to anyone again. They went, I don't know. I don't like all this woke DEI bullshit that Biden's talking about. I'm going for Trump again.
Right, and people underestimate how strong white supremacy is, and a lot of the gun culture is wrapped up in white supremacy.
Right.
Like it's almost hand in hand. And the thing about these things, they don't care what they have to sacrifice. They can sacrifice themselves, their children, their family members, their loved ones, you. It doesn't matter as long as, regardless of if they live to see the benefits of it or not, it's white supremacy today, white supremacy tomorrow, white supremacy forever. It's like that. That is always the end goal. And if that's the goal, no, they don't care enough about sacrificing their children. People, because a lot of people, they try to reach out to these people's humanity, but they don't have any, because in their mind the goal is larger and they're willing to sacrifice anything and everyone for that goal to be accomplished.
I don't celebrate the lost lives, but you think something like this would be a wake-up call, but it isn't. I honestly think some people would rather die than admit Cheeto Christ is a fraud. Shoe Booty says, jealous of anyone with a nice Walmart. When I say I don't feel safe in my Walmart, it's not out of elitism. I had an unsafe incident there. Let's just say I forced my 10-year-old boy to hold my hand the whole time in there while we ran in for something. Suffice to say, I usually just order home delivery to avoid the place. We used to have a nicer Walmart, but they closed it, and it's a weed farm now. Someone you need to smoke some weed and then go to the Walmart. Abia says we don't even have Walmart here at all. That's because you in Germany.
Yeah, I bet you Walmart came and I bet you somebody fought against that shit. They was like, nope.
Yeah, they tried but failed in Germany because of their corporate culture not being compatible with the German spirit. Exactly.
Yep. I think sometimes with Uber and Lyft and all them shit, I think they tried to come in like some countries overseas, and a lot of those countries they either limited them or was like, fuck no.
Yeah, Angela Merkel don't be playing that shit.
Yeah, they was like, we can. They basically looked. They were like, let's see what y'all are doing to America. Oh fuck no. I really do think that's what they see. They look over there and they was like, oh, this, that, and that. Like they actually look, because we're the example.
I was just laughing that you look like you was looking through the blinds.
Yeah,
at America.
That's how they do us.
Like, they ain't bring that mess up in here. On YouTube, they
be like, this smell like Silicon Valley. I'm good. That's what's happening over there.
Inez Harrell on YouTube says, hello, one of these days I will see you live. Thomas says professional baseball should adopt some of the features of this banana ball. It will make baseball more interesting. He also says, look who owns most media. AT&T, which owns Warner Media, Comcast, which owns NBC Universal, Disney, which owns ABC, ESPN, News Corp, which owns Fox News, Viacom, CBS, Sony. These corporations control a significant portion of television networks, streaming services, newspapers, and other media outlets. Additionally, some billionaires like Rupert Murdoch and Jeff Bezos have substantial stakes in media companies, further influencing the media landscape. Overall, these entities shape much of the media content consumed today. Agreed. Agreed completely. I'm just glad you didn't go where I thought I was going at first. I was like, oh, God, don't make me ban Thomas. Like his avatar is just a picture of some wheels, which is like when it's not your face, I always get nervous because I'm like,
because you'll never know where it's gonna go.
Look who controls the media. They.
I'm gonna say, oh no, Thomas.
You see what I'm saying? They control the weather machines. I don't see y'all bringing that up on the podcast a lot.
This is a good Thomas, like Thomas the Train.
Appreciate
you good,
Thomas. Dark Nandra says, a politician just being a politician. We're experiencing technical difficulties. I must have had to refresh. He says, just like during the Trump campaign, you can always find some who will, I guess, coon out. Them folks never learn wild things. I don't know what all these things refer to, but thank you for the comments. JT Dredd says, I'm on my lunch break at work and Chuck, Bo Buck, Banana Fanta Fo Fuck had me looking like a fool dying, laughing by myself. That was the shit. When you could find somebody who had a name that was going to be something vulgar in the name game, Chuck was the one, because you get fuck out of it. You know? And the rest was stretches because there's no one named Maggot or whatever the fuck. So but it was people was trying to get one off.
Yes.
Damien says, we all knew the Epstein file were not going to be released. Imagine Trump actually taking responsibility for his actions. We all need to pray if that happened. The girl on the other side of the road said, I'll never forgive Holly for introducing me to DDG. This man's a walking rage bait and I always fall for it. And to never hear anything about him, I had to click not interested on everything streamers related and block Haley and her sister. Damn. And her sister. Yeah, you know what's crazy, man? Like, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I can't find a way to say it without it sounding offensive to some of y'all. Yeah, it's just gonna be offensive to some of y'all. I don't know how these motherfuckers get so invested in these goddamn celebrity relationships, especially when they are kids. Like, especially
when young like that.
People who are much younger than us.
Yeah,
I know it's a big thing. I know.
Like,
I've seen.
Is old.
I really. Gotta speak my truth, man. I really be looking at people like, you're a fucking loser.
Right.
You're a
these
loser.
Are children, probably the age of your children, and you're obsessed with their
like
relationships.
We don't know these people, and also they're younger than us, so they're gonna make the mistakes that we would have made at their age, and they have to be allowed for that. We're not their aunties and uncles. We just like a thing they produce or the content they create, but we're not in community with them. The people that are in community with them need to be the ones that come to them that have an actual stake in their relationship and be like, hey, you're being abused or whatever. But you been in the comments, you sharing this rage bait of like this, people doing whole fucking podcasts and blogs about these strangers. It's so scary to me that they do that because these are real people. And a lot of times these issues they're treating them as entertainment, and the issues be like domestic violence,
right?
Sexual assault,
battery.
It's crazy. Like, but it's like, let's debate. Let's get in the comments. Let's argue about it. It's like, at what point are we past the content of it and going, I don't know, that's a serious situation that maybe the police need to be involved in.
Right. And it's also, I personally think for a lot of people, once they reach a certain age, it's a form of judgment. I can judge you because your life is online now. Forget all the bullshit I did when I was in my 20s and the fuck ups I did when I was younger. That's not on the
also
record.
They be fighting with each other.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I don't even think it's about the celebrities 100% because like they be like, I told y'all this. I'm like, what did you win? A prize? That she is being in an abused relationship? That's not good.
Just to brag, like that doesn't make sense.
There's still people that are holding out hope, and I mean this in that those are the words I'm using. They're inflammatory, but I mean it. That Simone Biles is being abused somehow. That her husband is a narcissistic, low-key abuser because they got a bad vibe off of him in one interview, and they have decided that they are gonna ride that thing till the wheels fall out. They hope her life is secretly miserable and that she is going to come down and confess to them. You guys were right in the comments. He is actually a piece of shit. And this whole time I've been horribly abused and I just didn't want to say anything. Because what else could the fucking end results be? Because none of them seem to be letting it go and be like, okay, guess I was wrong. They seem happy.
Yeah, they do not move on.
And at the end of the day, you don't get shit either way.
You don't get a prize. You don't get reward. There's no investment.
Anyway,
not
judging this person, but I'm saying I feel you on the idea of like having to mute. Because I do this too. I just be like, not interested,
So
over and over and over
in my timeline.
until I teach my algorithm, like, don't tell me about this shit. I don't care. And it's sad or it's great or I'm happy for you or I'm sorry it happened
or whatever.
But I it is not anything for me to be consuming.
Right.
Adam 22 is also a porn star, and I remember him getting famous because through a show 10 Men Compete for My Wife, where men had to prove themselves and the winner will fulfill their heart. I mean, I know they do porn because I think his wife is Lena the Plug, and the reason I know that is because he famously had this weird cuckold thing where she had sex with, but he had sex with women too. Like it's like they have like a podcast thing. They'll bring porn stars on and they'll both have the man and the woman, Lena and Adam, will have sex with the porn star. So it's not like they're in some type of violation of their relationship that they are having sex with other people. They're both consensually open relationship or whatever. So anyway, the reason I remember this is because for completely to try to make money off of the outrage click, he pretended to be upset that she was gonna have sex with this famous black porn star. And I just thought, like, man, people are gonna fall for this because they hate Adam so much that they're like, ha, your girl got fucked by I want to say it was Jason Love or something. I forget the porn star's name, but it was like, your girl got fucked by this dude and on camera and she loved it and all this. And I was like, this is all fake rage bait shit. Y'all are falling for it. You clicked on it, you downloaded it, you left a comment. It's just a dunk tank set up at the carnival and you fucking paid to throw some baseballs at it. So they got you. Polk County Sheriff is an attention-seeking clown who for years on local news with his righteous reporting on crime. He is also a MAGA Trump supporter. Local networks cover him regularly, says Lena. Thank you, Lena. I didn't know.
No, did not know.
Jason says, out here in the Southwest, there actually doesn't seem to be a huge difference in quality when it comes to Target versus Walmart. The red is just a little more aesthetically pleasing. It is funny how Walmart is probably in every way more evil than Target, especially when it comes to how they treat their employees. But it's a prime example of the best way not to trip is to don't even try to walk. Agreed. That's what 50 Cent been doing, and that's how he gets by.
Right. Nobody holds him accountable for shit.
The shit y'all canceled Tyler for, he should have been canceled 27 times. I know it would cost too much, but it would be dope if during the 20-second timeouts the NBA games would just stop. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. Just loot. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. That Texas flood was so horrible, and it's reason 4,080 why Kamala should be president and why I miss Joe. When Joe was president, it was just a 5-word conversation. Give them what they need. He was calling governors before. It's just, but they're just playing a political blame game. I saw, like, they're not doing anything for Texas. But I can't remember which one. Some Republican person tweeted, well, the governor of North Carolina didn't declare a state of emergency until after 2 weeks after Helene hit. And then, of course, fact checkers immediately were like, actually, he declared it 2 days before. He declared a state of emergency. So what are you doing? And I'm going to tell you what they're doing. Distracting from the fact they're not helping Texas. Because they rather you debate about the lies they're telling than to act, and they'll live in those lies, by the way.
Than to hold them accountable for not currently doing their jobs.
Anything to keep you from being like, what the fuck? Why aren't you helping right now? As is the oath you took in office.
Yeah, and not only the oath you took, percentage of those people don't know who actually voted for you.
Yeah.
So these are your constituents.
Yep. And finally, that McDonald's story where the sheriff had all the jokes. I got to be honest, he won me over in the end. Well, that's why you MAGAs. Tell him, Lena. You put us on to it. And now each one teach one. I learned it 3 seconds ago, so now I'm judging you. He won me over in the end. It started out quite awful. About halfway through, I started to gain some respect for the commitment to the bit. I could see how he became sheriff, but by the end, I had to admit it was McFunny. Of course, had the perpetrator been black, those chicken McNugget jokes would have hit a little different, right? You would probably call him something different than a McNugget. Nugget still had an N and two G's at the end. If you know what I'm saying? He said he's MAGA sheriff. I'm just saying. Did you know the slang term swag came from Jimmy Swaggart? Yes or no? Karen, what's so funny? These are facts.
Go ahead with the poll.
Okay, this is science that I'm trying to conduct here. I feel like you're not okay. Now let's get back to the poll. 90% did not know that. 91% of y'all didn't know that. 9% did know it. So there you guys go. Okay, most of y'all didn't know it, but now go out and tell everybody that that's what happened. All right, let's get to the voicemails after this beat.
Where my money at? You a blood clot lie. What you talking about?
All right, we got some voicemails. Four of them, I believe. Here's the first one from Iman.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Karen. This is Iman. So, I hope y'all are well, but when I saw the title for the last feedback show, like a shiver went down my spine. I was like, ooh, who's in trouble? Because there was an exclamation point at the end of it, and most of the time, y'all don't use punctuation in the show titles. And I was like, ooh, who did Rod have to go scorched earth on this time? I was like, who insulted Karen? I was like, have y'all not learned? And I was scared for whoever it was. I was like, who's in trouble now? But it was all jokes. Ooh, very, very happy it was just jokes. But also on another note,
Karen was the culprit.
It's a compliment.
No, the listeners are the ones who are. That's who I was mad at. They was in trouble for acting like Karen couldn't order a hot dog. 17% of them think that. That's crazy.
Karen feels like she can just, we all know that she's smart. Like, she goes on the dopest of rants all the time, and where people write in, call in, talk about how powerful her rants are. It's a compliment that she reads her brain at home sometimes. It's like, yeah, my man. Like, I'm with my man. I can leave my brain at home. I'm good. He got me. Just take the compliment. It's like, we're with you, Karen. At least that's how I feel. It's like, yes. Because as a woman, it's like, and studies have shown that women, we think all the time, our brains are always running at the highest level, and which is why it's so nice when we can just leave our brains at home. Just like,
Cut them off.
I don't even have to think about that. It's like, he's gonna tell me if there's macaroni and cheese on the hot dog. I don't even have to really look. It's like, he's gonna tap me on the shoulder, like, oh honey, don't you see that there's macaroni and cheese? Just tell her. It's okay. Take the compliment. All right, love you, Karen. Bye.
You too, baby.
Love you too, Rod.
Do you want me to just, Karen? Do you want me to just be like one of these men that just orders the food for the woman now? Is that what, like, when we go out to eat, I'll be like, and the lady will have. Okay, so you do want to be your own person that order your own food?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna just stick to believing that Karen can do it, guys. I'm sorry.
I got faith.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's not a you turn your brain off situation. Keep your brain on. I love your brain. It's a big juicy brain. Okay. If I was a zombie, I would eat your brain first. Okay.
Oh, that's
I mean it.
Sweet.
So don't turn it off. Don't listen to these people. You're not dumb, and you don't need to be dumb. All right, next one.
Hi, Ron and Karen. This is Allegra.
Allegra.
Feedback on the feedback. 3121. Karen is not stupid. She is not. Absolutely. She is absolutely not. And B, I just wanted to piggyback on the conversation, the kind of side conversation you were having, Rod, about people and not really being capable of having an actual conversation and sort of jumping to a conclusion, even though you're a good communicator. This is something that I've struggled with for many years, and I feel like it got worse. It started about mid 2010s, like maybe like actual 2010, 2011, that around about there, maybe 2015, where I started to feel like people weren't understanding what the fuck I was saying, which was interesting because I too am a really great communicator. And as a person who is studying to become a therapist, one of the things you have to do is not only be a good communicator, but be very empathetic. And I think that's where we got lost. Both of you guys said it elegantly, and therefore I don't really have much more to say other than the thing that I find frustrating is people will take a small portion of what you're saying and blow it out of proportion because social media has made it so that anything you say that doesn't say I agree with you 100% is an argument as people perceive it. Mm-hmm. And I find that very frustrating because you can never have actual dialogue. Mm-mm. I was listening to a podcast today on the media, and they were playing an excerpt about how news became so divisive. And as I suspected, it started around the Nixon era, and they started to talk about more and more how it started there, and then Alex Jones, or rather Rush Limbaugh, got the whole divisiveness started. And it just kept this snowball effect of, if you don't agree with me 100%, fuck you. And I'm just not that kind of person. Mm-hmm. There are times where I feel strongly, yes, absolutely. When a person is actively working against me and the community, then sure. But if a person is still feeling confused or I don't know, maybe they see the light from their or error of their ways, who am I to hold that against them? Anyway, I just wanted to say I too have experienced that, and it's frustrating. Thanks, guys. I love listening to you as always.
Thank you, Allegra.
Thank you.
And I love you too, Amon. I'm sorry I forgot to say. But the thing is, I think part of what you're bringing up is that the social media, the peak of social media, 2010, take a drink, everybody. Conflict is Not Abuse, the book by Sarah Schulman, which I highly recommend. A tough read for me, but honestly one of the most fulfilling reads I've ever had in my life. But there's a lot of people looking for a reason to dismiss and check out of a conversation fast. And so I think that's why you end up with people jumping to conclusions or trying to seize on one thing that you said. And like I said, I've done it. So this isn't even coming from a place of like, I'm better than this. I feel like I'm better than this now, but I'm not above this. I don't think anyone's truly above it when you're disagreeing with someone or when you have that insecurity that's being triggered and it just jumps out of you and you're like, oh, you about to say this. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, you said that, but what you really mean?
Yeah, and it's human nature. I have to catch myself, yes.
Yeah, it's a fight or flight instinct that is almost beyond us. And so I totally get it is my point. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons I asked the age is not to be like you're immature, but to be like, maybe this is a thing we all go through. I was honestly looking for something to relate to. Like maybe we all kind of have these moments, and I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I wasn't unreachable at those times. I maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I was, and that's exactly how I behaved, and I would have done the same thing to someone who asked me my age. I don't know. So it's not coming from that place, but I'm like, I would hope that if someone approached me without the animosity and was like, let's actually try to have a conversation, I would hope I would have listened at that time. But maybe I would have acted like him and been like, no, you definitely meant this. But I don't know. The last thing I'll say too is this, and I never react out of this, but I do feel this all the time. Anytime someone accuses me of lying to them, especially a stranger, it's very insulting because I would not lie to you. You don't mean that much. Like
I have
like
no reason to lie to you, right?
I don't even lie to the people I love and care about. I don't lie to. I'm definitely not lying to some motherfucking stranger for what?
Right.
If I said it, that's what I meant, and I meant it the way I said. I would never like it. You didn't catch me. You don't. God, it just sounds cold, but I don't mean it to be cold. But it's true. We're strangers. You don't matter to me enough for me to care about your feelings in a way that's like, I better lie to this person. I don't want them to think I.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
So
people think that the internet allows people to think that they're more important than they are in your lives.
I remember this is a long time ago, but there was a person that in our Facebook group, and they were having issues with other people in the Facebook group and blah blah. And this one I was a moderator in one of the, well, I might have been the only moderator at the time, and then I can't even remember. This is how not important it was. I cannot remember what the fuck it was about. Anyway, this person's like, I want out of the group, fuck them and fuck you too, Rob, blah, blah. Whatever. Cool, they leave the group. A friend of theirs, because they had plenty of friends that were still in the group, a friend of theirs, maybe a month, a week, however long later, they bring up, hey, it's this person's birthday. I know they're not in the group anymore, but this is the charity that they want to, if you want to donate to this charity, blah, blah. My, naive apparently not at the time thought I was being olive branch, nice rod, reaching out, empath, hey, you left the group, no hard feelings. Hey, anyway, my dumb ass is like, oh, I'll donate to the charity in this person's name, we're all gonna do it. Motherfucker made some post later on about like alleging that I did it out of pettiness. I gave to charity to teach you a petty lesson about how I don't like you.
Make that make sense, Sway.
That's insane to me.
Delusional.
That's insane to me. But like, that's what I think social media and that element does to us. Is it makes that seem like a norm, like I'm a Machiavellian Lex Luthor motherfucker. It's like, when I give to the children, then she'll know I must really hate her. Oh, those children will walk again, but it'll be because of my hatred. Like I don't even know. Anyway, it was one of those moments. Olive branch might as well be a stick, might as well be a bow staff.
Right.
So, but it taught me something about that, and so I see that now when it's just like, okay, I reached out thinking we were having a conversation. That's not going to happen because in your mind it can't happen.
Right.
That would mean something that is too gray area for you to even receive. So let's just move on. We got 2 more voicemails. This one's 17 seconds, and it's from the person that called back the next time. So we'll see.
A butt call or accident?
Yeah, I think that was okay. So that was a butt dial. All right, but the next one they did leave a message.
Okay.
Hey, Rod. Hey, Karen. This is Cat B from DC.
Cat B?
I called a couple of weeks ago commenting on the, I think it was YG. I didn't leave my name. It's Cat B from DC. But today I want to talk about episode 3123. You're talking about Walmarts with gates and no brick and no windows. Like, how y'all living?
In the ghetto, girl.
Where's this Walmart? All our Walmart gates. Where are they corralling you all to? And no bricks.
They taking away our freedoms is what they doing.
They're like, it's one way in and one way out.
Y'all want me where next time I go in there, I'll film it for y'all. I'm telling y'all.
Yes, people think we're making that shit. I am not making that shit up, y'all.
Yeah, like maybe that's why I have such an affinity for like Target, where I'm like, man, listen, Target, they don't be putting you in the slave pens. They just let you walk in and walk out.
Yes, if I put like this, it's like if you go in the entrance and be like, oh, I want to turn back around there. Like, no, bitch, you got to go that way and corral your ass around to out.
They've never checked my receipt at Target.
Ever.
They just trust that I paid for what I got in my bag. That's probably why white people steal so much.
Walmart always have the brick exterior, and you go in and yeah, this is the reason why I can manage not going to Target because of Walmart. But I guess
so. Just understand the struggle that me and Karen really going through. We really in the shit. Some of y'all fake struggling. Or I'll just go to Walmart instead. Sure, go to your pristine Walmart with the AC
I didn't know
and the no slave pens.
Yeah, y'all got nice
and where they don't check receipts. Yeah, sure. You're not sacrificing anything for the revolution like me and Karen. Okay, I had to go in there. We had to go in there like it's a fucking battle plan to get across the parking lot.
You better, cause child, last time we went in one way and was trying to leave and we couldn't go out. They was like, no, this side closed.
We don't even talk when we walk in. We do those signals like they do at the SWAT team, where they be like,
can't let nobody know about the plans.
Yeah, I'll be like, 2 bogus over there. We going this way to the behind the car.
I don't live in D.C. I'm from D.C. I live in Western Maryland, and all our Walmarts are pretty much the same. I think I have seen the gated one in Tallahassee, Florida, where you go through and they have that thing that lets you in, lets you out. But other than that, I'm wondering about y'all out there down there in North Carolina. All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
I mean, I admit, I mean, from all the context clues, I think we just live in the hood.
You know what? I'm kind of beginning to think that too.
It is what it is. Like, maybe that's why. maybe that's why
they're corralling us in there.
Maybe that's why my discussions about politics to me sound much more pragmatic than my egghead ass living not around the people but speaking for the people academic ass motherfuckers that be on TV and shit. Maybe that's why I feel like they sound crazy. It's because I still live here and be like, no, nigga, Democrats need to help clean this shit up. Right? And they just like, if we can't all get universal basic income, then we'll just get more Trump, because I don't give a fuck.
And I'm like, no, that's like, not the answer. What are we doing here?
Let me ask you this before I get into it with you, because I don't want to fight you. Do your Walmart got slave pens?
If not, we can't talk.
No, my Walmart has brick and mortar. It has windows. It lets the sunlight in. You ever go to the atrium at your local Walmart? And I'm like, oh, that's why you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Okay.
Based off your Walmart.
Yeah. You ain't never had to do motherfucking combat eye signals with like a military insertion to pick up a product? No? Okay. They check your receipt on the way out that bitch? No? Okay. Well, then maybe you not in touch with the people as you thought you was.
You might not be other people.
Yeah. All right, I'm not gonna play the beat for this because we only got one voicemail this week. Celeste says, "Hi, Rod and Karen. I really appreciate this."
One email?
Yes, one email. Karen always catches me on that. God damn it! But if I was a macaroni and cheese hot dog, she would have not said a goddamn thing. I really appreciate this episode. Both of your discussions about the phenomenon of people willingly missing the point and seeing their reality is valid. With the current state of affairs in this country, I think this is undergirding why there are such different perspectives on what now really is. For example, for black people, if they or anyone in their family passed down the truth, or if they read it up on themselves, we know you do not need to look overseas for an example of a repressive government and state being used against citizens. Sadly, though, too many black, brown, Asian people, for whatever reason, started to move away from that knowledge and disengage from the one strategy, voting. That is the least violent, bare minimum of civic engagement they can do.
Violent. Let
me tell y'all why. The motherfuckers don't got the Walmarts with the slave pens. That's why. See, once the white man put the Walmarts with the windows into the hood, okay, into those gentrified suburban areas, a lot of these Negroes thought they had made it to freedom. This is gonna be my presidential campaign platform.
Vote for Rod 2020.
Right. I'm putting slave pen Walmarts everywhere. Y'all need to know how down bad we are. Y'all got the illusion. Oh, the AC work in your Walmart? Nah, not until everyone get free healthcare. White people fall into a few categories about that history in our current moment, acknowledging it but ignoring it still happening, feeling uncomfortable admitting it, and speeding past U.S. history to try to keep that exceptionalism myth alive, and those who are actively trying to bring it back to come rewind. Bring it back, come rewind. And all those approaches, in my opinion, are dangerous. They lead to exactly the type of exchange you had with that person online and what I see online and in real life. I think that was a brother though, but yeah, I don't know. I guess the thing for me is like, you don't see how valueless that exchange ended up being. You know what I'm saying? Like we're only talking about it because I brought it up on the show and y'all are writing feedback. But I swear to God, no joke, I have not thought about it since it happened. And so nothing good came of it. You know, I think something good may have come of us having a legitimate exchange, and even if the good is just like a feeling of like, oh man, at least we understand each other now, but we can't even have that. And all of those approaches, in my opinion, are dangerous. They lead the exact type of exchange you had. And the fact that we have a depraved, racist, sexist government that was just given additional tools to inflict pain, harm, and abuse on so many. And as Karen has said many times, and me too, the goal is slavery. And that man just said it a few days ago, that some farmers can keep their workers as indentured servants, slaves. These motherfuckers. And do you hear a great outcry about it from the citizens or those who are uncommitted and said both parties are the same? Nope. And I am incandescent with anger with that and this bill they passed. I work helping people for a living, and I remember before ACA and expanded Medicaid is bad. Now, that being said, states have an opportunity here. So far, I have seen Newsom in California say a version of this: do not send back to the feds the funds they are giving to the wealthy and defunding programs. Just keep it in the house. We shall see if it's talk or not. Anyway, stay safe and take care. Yeah, I'm sure. I can't help myself. I'm gonna take a shot at this nigga anyway. I'm sure Gavin Newsom said that while he was talking to Steve Bannon on his fucking podcast. All right, I'm sorry, it's petty,
but yeah, that's
but
a
fuck
real
him.
thing.
Fuck him for that.
Right.
That shit made me so mad.
Right. That's why I said I'm not the one, because I'd be like, fuck no. What
Yeah.
I'm gonna do in my goddamn state.
Yeah.
They said they can't hear us.
Oh no, Joe said she
Okay,
can't hear.
okay.
Everybody else can hear. I just pulled it up and closed it, just refreshed it anyway.
Okay.
But Nichelle can hear.
Okay,
So
no problem. I was just wanted to be sure.
listen, Joe, you got to pay your audio bills, okay? These speakers do not just work. You got to put something in. She can't even hear this right now. That's the ironic part.
I gotta go back and listen, but they were talking about me.
Yeah, she gotta go refresh and listen to the replay. All right, y'all, that's it for the feedback show. Thank you everybody that wrote in, that left comments, voicemails, all that stuff. We really appreciate y'all.
We do.
We'll be back throughout the week until I don't know what I had to promote. Oh no, I didn't do that this week. Anyway, you guys can hear us all over the premium side, the blackouttips.com/premium. I also was on MC University podcast a couple weeks ago, discussing nerdy stuff there. So make sure y'all check all that stuff out.
We did Superman.
Yeah, it's a movie review for
Yes,
sport
a movie
movie
review.
reviews.
That's what I meant, yes.
So make sure you guys check all that stuff out behind the paywall, and we'll talk to you soon. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.